Hey, what is up guys? Jeremy here and welcome to a app spotlight. We're taking a look at Launch Center Pro. This is an app I've had on my device for a long time. I've had a lot of people requesting me to do a review on it, so here is the review. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. It's in my dock. I recently moved it back to my dock, and I also uninstalled it and reinstalled it so that it gave you guys basically the default kind of layout. This is what you're going to see when you first download and install this application. Now, in a nutshell, what this app is basically a bunch of different actions that you can do from one centralized place. It allows you to do complex actions that normally you'd have to go, dive deep into an app and navigate your way through it. And you can just do it with one click on this app. It's pretty insane, how in-depth this application can get. It's very layered, and there is a ton of stuff you can do with it. So I'm going to keep it real basic for this video, guys. I'm only going to show you kind of an idea of what you can do. If it's an app that you guys want to try out, I recommend, downloading it and just giving it a go. It is a paid app, but if you guys want to see how to get paid apps for free, check out the link down in the description. But anyways, let's get into this. So, like I said, basically Launch Center, what it allows you to do is to do complex actions with a single tap. So the first thing, for example, like I said, this is kind of the default layout. So I'm just going to kind of do a run through of all this to give you guys an idea of what you can do. So the first thing you can do is, like it says right here, you have your Facebook icon. You can just do a selfie. So if you want to do a selfie for Facebook, basically just launch it. There I am. And then you can snap a photo and it'll post it right to your Facebook. So instead of going into the Facebook app, going to new post, going to camera, and then, doing it that way, you can do it with one click in here instead of, spending maybe 30, 40, 50 seconds navigating into the Facebook app. You can literally just spend 5 seconds opening this app and clicking the button. The next thing you can do is tweet a GIF. So I use Tweetbot. So let's say I want to search out a GIF and do a new tweet with one. We can go ahead and do the laughing one. We could choose Drake here. It's kind of funny looking. You can bookmark this GIF if you want to use it more than once, and then you can just click on Use GIF and you can tweet it, which is pretty insane. So it's basically a shortcut to GIFs. The next thing you could do for Twitter, for example, is tweet your last photo. So just click on that. As you guys can see, the card pops up. All I gotta do is type out, I don't know, let's just say a wallpaper. This is kind of a tweet that I do all the time because you guys always want my wallpapers, and then I could just click on post, and then you guys can go ahead and get that wallpaper. So pretty slick, considering I don't have to go into Tweetbot or Twitter, navigate to the photos or a new post. I can literally just click a button. Next thing is group message. So I can easily just start a group message depending on what groups you have set up on your device. And now we're into groups. So the first 4 things I did for you guys were called actions. It's going to do a specific action like the selfie, specific action like the tweet GIF. But now we have a group. So this is basically a group of actions. It's kind of like the folder. So if we click and hold on photos, here are some actions that are kind of centralized around photos. You can select a photo to email. You can share a photo from your camera. You can select a photo for Dropbox. And you can launch the camera directly for Instagram right from here as well. Like I said, this is just all for time-saving stuff. You got a QR code reader. You got VSCO cam. I don't know what that is. I don't use it. It basically just kind of sets this stuff up to give you guys an idea of what you can do. And basically the way that these groups work is you click and hold, and then you just slide to whatever you want to do. Once you release, you can either exit, or for Instagram, we can just release on it. As you guys can see, it'll ask you to open it up if you want to. You can just click cancel otherwise. So pretty cool. The next action is a trigger IFTTT. I'm not going to cover that. That's pretty in-depth. If you guys want me to dive way more in depth with this application in the future, just let me know in the comments, because like I said, this is an extremely layered application. I could probably spend over an hour showing you guys different things you can do with it. I'm just trying to keep it really simple for this app spotlight. So the next group is bookmarks. So here are bookmarks that I could easily jump to within Safari, just like that. Boom, Apple releases. Where'd it go now? I think I selected on it. Well, we can just go back to Launch Center just like so. Let's go ahead and open that up again. Well, maybe I accidentally clicked on that article. I'm not sure. So that's bookmarks. Like I said, you can just easily jump to any of your bookmarks. Next, you have contacts. So here's a cool section for you guys to check out. You can message a GIF, kind of the same as tweet a GIF. just like so. Go back into contacts. You have compose a new message. You can message a group in specific, so you can have a button set up for that. So this is message family. You can dial a contact, which will basically do it automatically. So you can have whatever set up, like mom here. So if you call your mom all the time, you can literally just have a button in here. Just click on it and it will call them. You can dial a number, and that's right from in this application. So let's say 555555555, just like that. I'm sure that's way more digits than it should be, but you can click on launch and it will dial that number. You also do have a new message for WhatsApp, and then you can also do a FaceTime audio shortcut. And this is barely, an example. There's just way more in depth you can go with this. You have your search here, so you can search Yelp, you can search Wolfram Alpha, you can search your passwords, Google Map, Twitter, Google, Amazon, Wikipedia, App Store, FND for apps, and then Google Clipboard. And then now is another action, for example. So let's say you message John all the time. It could be your girlfriend or parents or whoever. Just click on it and you can have a setup message to send them. So if there's a message that you send all the time that you get sick of, typing out or whatever, you can basically have a default message set up for that contact, like it put in here on its own. It put in, this is whatever it said. Go ahead and click on send. Message failed. But I think you guys get the idea. It's just kind of a default sample action for a contact. Next is apps. So here is specific actions for in applications. So for deliveries, I can quickly add a delivery with a click of a button instead of navigating to the app, going into the plus button, which allows you to add the delivery just one click away instead of like 3 clicks. You got read latest. You got all clear. Some of these apps, I have no idea what they are. Like I said, they just put them in here to give you guys an idea of all the stuff you can do. So if you have, I think that's OmniFocus, you can add a new item. This is, I'm sure, some sort of travel app. You got new trip. You got set timer, new post. On clear, you can create a new list with a click. You have a new text post for Tumblr, new tweet for Tweetbot, and then you have a shortcut to perfect weather. So this adds a lot of different shortcuts to different areas within the applications. You can also set up, specific email actions. So you got email Anna here. If we click on this, as you guys can see, it automatically input the actual message itself. It says this is just a sample. To learn more about creating actions, go to settings and view the support page. So there's a lot of different stuff you can do with this. You can have it set up to multiple email accounts. So if you have, group emails that you need to send out for work or something that are just kind of, like a default kind of normal email that you send out, you can literally set it up within this app. Just click it, click send, and you're done. So that's the other action. And then you'll have 2 blank spots. I have a test here with nothing in it. And then you can also add like a new event to your calendar with the click of a button there, event description. You go ahead and launch it and add it. So we're going to go ahead and click on the little pencil icon in the upper right, and this is going to allow us to edit all of our groups and actions. So the first thing you can do is decide whether it's going to be a group or action. Like I said, a group is basically a group of actions that are kind of all related, and an action is just the shortcut being on the first page, basically. Basically, it's like a folder and not a folder in its own way. So for test here, I did this, so we can go ahead and let's highlight it again. I'll just do another one. So let's go ahead and do a group. You can set up your group name. I'm going to go ahead and do test again. And then you can actually customize your icon for that group. So you got a bunch of different icons you guys can choose. And for the most part, it'll be whatever you want it to relate to, like food. You could have an ice cream cone, or like different clock actions. You can have the clock, just a ton of different things you can set up with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do the little skull again because I think it looks pretty cool. So then back out, got your icon, click on done. So then I have a new group set up here. So if I click on done, here's the group. As you guys can see, there's nothing in it. So let's go ahead and click on the pencil again, click on the one we're editing. Let's add a new action. Now the actions is, like I said, where this gets incredibly in-depth. The number of actions that you can do for different applications is just insane. There's something like 100,000 applications that support this, and it's just really, really in-depth. Like I said, I could spend a long time on this. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick example. First thing you have is the action name. You can name it whatever you want. It could be tweet or post to Facebook or whatever. So you got your name, the URL. I wouldn't really worry about that until you go into the action composer. So here's the action composer. Now you have your featured actions, and each of these kind of goes in depth in their own. I'm sure you guys can see what the featured actions are. You have contact options there, message groups. So that's featured actions. You have system actions. So this is pretty insane too. Bookmarks, your brightness, your calendar, clipboard actions, your clock. You can have a quick action to your timer or stopwatch. Even brightness, which is pretty crazy, and you can set up your own values to toggle between brightnesses. So set toggle like that, set brightness. So let's say we're going to toggle between 20 and 100%. So you have your URL, which is input automatically for most actions. Sometimes you can actually add that URL yourself if you know what needs to be input there, but that's something I do not know. So going down to your options here, first off, you have your icon. You can customize your icon to look however you want. You can use a web clip or your default app icon, or you can customize it. So you can see here, this basically changes kind of the way the icon looks. So we'll do that. Then you can also change the color of it to be whatever you want. And then you can also change the little icon within it. And there's a ton of little icons to choose from, whatever you want it to be. Like I said, guys, this app is insane. So we'll go to the little gear here. And, oh, there is a little brightness one right there. So I can basically make my own brightness icon, which is pretty cool. So we'll back out. You can have this action be scheduled. So you can schedule an alert for it, set the date, and you can also have it repeat if you want. You also have location triggers, basically like geofencing. So that way, let's say just for this brightness, when you leave your house, the brightness goes up to 100%, and when you get home, it'll go back down to 20%. And this is just for brightness. The different things you can do with this is limitless. It's just basically to make your life a whole lot easier. You also have a bunch of different sounds that you can choose from. Just like so. And that's, for the most part, what you can do. You can move the action, and you can also share the action. So in a nutshell, that's basically what you can do with Launch Center. Now, for example, I'll just do something here really quickly for you guys to give you guys an idea of how quickly this can make it to get around on your device to do different stuff. So let's say we go to bookmarks. Let's go to Mac Stories. Let's go ahead and let's scroll up. Let's click on the Mac Stories homepage, and then we can go down. Let's just say, all right, so here it is. So we can go ahead and select on this. Let's say we want to copy it, and let's say we want to tweet it. So instead of, seeing this and then, closing out the app, going into Twitter, opening up a new tweet, and then sitting there and writing it, we can just copy it, go back to Launchpad, go to Apps, go to New Tweet, wait for it to load for 1 second, go ahead and go in here, and paste. And we have our link directly there, which is Apple releases iOS 9.3.1, which is actually really, really cool. So I actually, really like that you can do it. You can go ahead and tweet. I just tweeted it. Boom. And then we can go back to launch and go, on our way to do other things that we need to do. So that's pretty much, the main page of Launch Center. And I know this is a very long video. Like I said, this app is insane. There's even more you can do. If we click on the little gear here, you have your Today widget. Now, Today widget is in your notification center. As you guys can see, there's Launch Center. I can compose a new message. I can launch the camera for Instagram from here. I can go directly to Google Maps, and I can also go to Twitter. So this is accessible, obviously, from the lock screen, which is really cool. You just will have to either input your passcode or do Touch ID to get into your device, but you do have the ability to do these shortcuts directly from like your lock screen or anywhere in your device, which is pretty insane. And you can add a whole ton of different actions just by clicking the little plus button. So if we back out into themes, there's two different themes. There's dark and light. I'm currently using the light. It's all personal preference, which you like. That's what the dark theme looks like, as you guys can see. So pretty self-explanatory with the themes. And go back to light. You have your places. So you can have geofences set up with this as well, like I was saying, so that an action is done when you leave your house or when you leave work or when you get to work. Just an example, you have your backups. So if you have an insane setup of different actions, and if you were to, have to reinstall the app, you'd lose them all. You can actually, have a backup of all your different stuff to Dropbox, or you can actually have an export manual backup, which is really cool as well. You have Launch Center Connect, which allows you to do a couple of different things with Twitter and Facebook, and also your emails. You have Dropbox options. I'd honestly recommend signing in the Dropbox because the amount of actions you can do with Dropbox is pretty insane. You have Text Expander here, which allows you to do a whole bunch of other things, and there just shows some more apps at the bottom. So that is pretty much Launch Center in a nutshell. I know this is a longer video, but this is a very in-depth application. It's something that you guys are going to probably want to install and just, toy around with on your own to learn all the different crazy actions that you can do with just a click in this. You can even have, multiple actions set up so that you do one action on Twitter and it'll basically do it on Facebook and, Instagram. It'll just go down the line and you just do it with one click. It's pretty insane. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this app spotlight of Launch Center Pro. Again, like I said, this is a paid app from the App Store. If you guys want to see how to get paid apps for free, check out the link down in the description. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, definitely throw me a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see more app spotlights in the future, don't forget to click that subscribe button. This has been Jeremy, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.